Hello beautiful, welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, my name is Bettina. I'm the makeup enthusiast, and in today's video I'm going to bring you a much overdue update on my Pan Those eyeshadows. I do have some success to share with you today, and also some woeful progress yet again, growing trend for this year. So if you want to see how I'm going on my eyeshadows that I currently have in my Pan Those Eyeshadows project, then stay tuned. But before we get into the video, if you are new around here and you love watching project panning related content or any other beauty related content, make sure you subscribe down below. And without further ado, let's jump on into the update. So I do have pans to share with you today, which is always exciting, but I also have some not progress. So, and you guys, if you're keeping up to date on this project, you can probably guess what the not progress is. But let me bring up my prompts so I can tell you which ones match the prompts properly. For those of you that are new to my Pan Those eyeshadows, this is probably my 4th or 5th year doing Pan Those eyeshadows, and I just love Pan Those eyeshadows. I feel like it helps out with my creativity, and it also helps me focus on my very large, ever-growing eyeshadow palette collection. As you can see behind me here, it's a little bit excessive, and Pan Those eyeshadows and project panning really help me to focus on older stuff in my collection and like just get some use, some love, some wear and tear in my collection. Otherwise it just sits on the shelf and gathers dust. So this project really helps me to grab out older stuff in my collection. I am currently using the spreadsheet that Makeup by Lainey created a couple of years ago. It is a spreadsheet of 100 prompts, and from that spreadsheet I randomly generate a number, and then I go and find, well actually I randomly generate a prompt, and then I go and find a shadow in my collection that matches that prompt. I'm doing fairly well. I still have, I think, about 70 to 80 prompts left on that spreadsheet. So it is going slow sailing. It is slow and steady. It wins the race with this one. I don't know how much longer I'm going to take with this spreadsheet. I did want to finish it completely, but that's going to take me a very long time. So if you guys are done with the spreadsheet prompts, let me know at any point. But for now, I am enjoying it, and I'm finding that the spreadsheet is really challenging me, and it also is really helping me grab out, like I said, those older eyeshadows in my collection. All that being said, let's jump on in to the update and the progress or lack thereof. Let's start off with the lack thereof, and that comes from my Sydney Grace Shadow Kiwi Fruit. Now I rotated in Kiwi Fruit, which is this one here, to match the prompt of a shadow that starts with K. I have not used this one since last update. I've actually only used it once since the intro. I am wearing a white shirt today, and white shirts and I like the look of white shirts. But white shirts and I we don't really mix well together, and I'm wearing like lipstick and eyeshadow and makeup. Like makeup just full stop with a white shirt is dangerous. So I am trying my very best not to get this shirt stained. But I can almost guarantee you that's not going to happen. So Kiwi Fruit still continues to whoop my ass, and I have zero progress on it. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I don't want to give up, but at the same time, I'm getting closer and closer to feeling like I might give up. I might maybe put this back in my collection, and then when I, by chance, become so unlucky that I roll this prompt again, I might grab it back out. Maybe that's how I can work it. We'll see how we go with that one. I just don't know what I'm going to do. My next shadow comes from, this is another one actually. I don't think I touched this one either. Let me look at my calculations, my tracking sheet. Yeah, I haven't used this one either. It comes from my Glaminatrix Pretty on Pastels palette. If I'm honest, I kind of forgot that this one was in the project. Rotated this one in to match the prompt of a yellow shadow shimmer. I rotated in the color Magical, which is this one right up the top here. And I've also used this one 0 times since the last update, only once since the introduction. This one's only been in for 2 months, but only one use in 2 months is quite upsetting. So really need to pull my finger out with this one. I will say I have previously panned, or I have hit pan on a shimmer shade from Glaminatrix in this same style of like pan size and palette, and it actually didn't take me too long to hit pan on. So I know that I can do it. I know it's fairly easy. I think it was maybe between like 12 and 15 uses, and I hit pan on that shade. So not that many uses would be needed to hit pan on this one. It's just not really, I don't know, it just hasn't really melded well for me personally into this color story as much as I probably had hoped originally. Yellow shimmer. And I've really been on that like purple kind of pink duochrome, multi-chrome shadow kind of craze of late. And I just feel like yellow inner corner shimmer doesn't really go well with that. It's just my personal opinion. That's those ones. Next, let's move into another shadow that I don't have a pan on yet, but we have skyrocketed with the amount of progress since previous updates. I finally, this past like, I want to say maybe fortnight, I have found my groove with my Cleona shadow. Now I rotated in this Cleona shadow right at the start of the project. So it's been in the project for a large number of months, and we went through like 2 to 3 updates where there was 0 progress. I think the first update of the year, I managed to get four uses. And then since then, there's been 0. But this past month, more specifically, this past fortnight, I've just found the groove. I have found the groove. I'm actually wearing this on my lid today as my multi-chrome shimmer, and I just think it looks glorious. So I did rotate in Cleona Bloodline, which is this one here at the bottom in the middle. This one rotated in to match the prompt of a multi-chrome, obviously. So I have done 9 uses on this one this past fortnight. I think it's fortnight. Maybe it was 3 weeks. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure it's only been like the last couple of weeks. I've actually been wearing this to work. I've just been like, I don't care. I'm going to wear like a pink multi-chrome shimmer on my eyes and live my best life, and I've been loving it. I do have a really nice dip starting to form in this one. I think if I could potentially get like another, I don't quite remember how many uses it took me to hit pan on this multi-chrome, the only other shadow in this palette that I have a pan on. I don't quite remember how many uses it took me to hit pan on that one. But given the dip that I've got going, I reckon if maybe I could get another 9 uses, I think I might be very close to hitting pan on this particular shade. It's very pretty. It's very, very pretty, I will say. And I don't judge my wing liner today because I am running out. All of my liners are like getting to the point where they're like drying out, and I am so stubborn. I want to get like every last drop of them out. And I also keep missing the 50% off sales at Priceline to go get a restock. So I am determined to just keep using it until the next sale rolls around. I might have to try and see if there's a sale somewhere else because they're getting skippy, they're getting chunky, and the liquid just won't flow out. So I have really patchy wings today. But the shimmer, look at that multi-chrome shift, so pretty. I really love a little Cleona palette. It's so cute and beautiful. I haven't purchased any Cleona multi-chromes. Well, actually, I personally haven't purchased any Cleona multi-chromes. One of these was gifted from one of you guys, and then the rest, Hubs brought them as, I think, a birthday present or a Christmas present. One year he brought one of the kits, and that's like what makes up this palette, is a beautiful array of stunningly gorgeous multi-chromes. Anyway, that's that. Cleona multi-chromes, God damn, they're expensive, but they are very, very pretty shadows. So that one now, I'm currently sitting at a total of 13 uses. And as I said, I reckon if maybe I could get another, maybe around 9 uses, I will be very close to hitting pan on that one. And then the last two are actually pans that I hit. So they come from my Odin's Eye Merry Christmas palette and my Kidos Futurism 7 Sashimi City palette. Now, I think the Kidos palette only came in, I believe, last month. The Odin's Eye has been in for a couple of months. Now, the Odin's Eye, I rotated in to match the prompt of reminds me of spring. I rotated in the color Elf's Wish, which is this one here. It is like this lime green. It shifts to like a green yellow kind of color. Rotated it in because it reminds me of green, like, you know, fresh grass, everything's blooming, everything's green and nice and fresh in spring. So rotated this one in, and I did manage to hit pan on this one. So over the last, well, since the last update, it's been a bit more than a month, but since the last update, I used this 5 additional times, which takes me to a total of 11 uses to hit this tiny little pan in there. This one I actually really started enjoying. I think I used it on my fingernails a couple of times. I think I maybe actually had this on my fingernails at the last update, if my memory serves me correct. Really nice color. The formula on the shimmer was actually really nice. Looked really beautiful on the eyes. Managed to hit pan on that one. And then the Kidos, I rotated this one in to match the prompt of a shadow that starts with the letter G. In this one, I rotated in the color Gourmet, and that's this one here. And as you can see, I managed to get a really decent pan on this one. This one, once I finally figured out how to use it, I think last month I said I was just having difficulty figuring out how to use this one best. I only had 2 uses last month, but once I finally found my groove on this one, I used it to death until I was able to get this nice, decent sized pan. I've used this one 17 times since the last update. I think I was pairing this one with, I think I paired it a little bit with the Cleona, but also with my Project Level Up palette, which was the Dubious Place palette that I was working on in that project. So I finally found a way that I like to use it. And once I found that way, smashed out the pan. So that one I got pan with a total of 19 uses. We have 2 pans, which means I need to now rotate in 2 new prompts, and we need to go and grab 2 new prompts or 2 new shadows from the collection. So let me bring up my little tiny decisions wheel with our outstanding prompts on it and see. Let's see how unlucky we're going to be today. Fingers crossed. All right, I need to go with that one. Pan those eyeshadows prompts. All right, let's see. First up, we have a shadow that starts with A. I feel like A being at the start of the alphabet, we might have a lot more options than we have previously with other letters. And then secondly, we have a randomly generated shadow. Okay, so that's just a color that I need to randomly generate. Let me just Google that random color. Oh, actually, I think that's a randomly generated shadow from my collection. All right, so for that, I'm going to go into my wheel that has my entire eyeshadow palette collection on it. And let's just randomly generate a palette, and then we'll randomly generate a number from that palette. So let's see what we get. Juvia's Place Nubian 2, which is this one. All right, I don't have a pan. I don't have a pan in the Nubian 2. So we're going to go with this one, and then prompt that shadow that started with the letter A. Okay, I'm going to go and find my A shadow in my collection, and I'll be back in a second. All right, so I have my 2 palettes to replace the 2 shadows. I did grab the Nubian 2 as my random generator eyeshadow. Now I just need to generate which one we're going to work on out of this palette. So this is a 12 pan eyeshadow palette, so I'm just going to do a random number generator between 1 and 12. All right, so let's go with number 4. Right, so left to right, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, which is this top shimmer shade here. It's like a coppery color. Well, that's actually quite nice. Okay, so it's a bronze color, bronze shimmer shade. So that is the color, yeah, out of this palette. And then we have, to match my prompt of a shadow that starts with the letter A, I grabbed out my Nabla Cutie palette, and from this one I'm going to rotate in the color Alchemy. I was kind of hoping I would get a matte from this palette, but it is what it is. Alchemy is like this beautiful kind of pinky shimmery color with a bit of a like blue reflex through it. Probably not even going to see this swatched on my hand, but I thought that I could get like a nice kind of twinkly eye across the lid with that one. So that's that one there, Alchemy. And then let's just quickly swatch the rest of the shades. I actually have 4 shimmers and 1 matte. That was not smart of me at all, but it is what it is. Then we have Bloodline from Cleona, which is just such a beautiful, gorgeous shade. That's the Cleona shade there, Bloodline. Magical from the Pretty Pastels palette. Oh, this was not a smart idea at all. Anyway, it's the yellow shimmer. And last but not least is Kiwi Fruit, which I mean, kind of have no excuse not to use Kiwi Fruit anymore because I have so many shimmers that I could pair it with. I mean, some of these would not pair well with a like khaki green. The swatch for Kiwi Fruit is not very good because I've done it with my thumb, but you get the idea. So that's Kiwi Fruit there. I actually feel like Kiwi Fruit, I could potentially pair it with Magical. Kind of works, and then obviously I could also pair it with the new one that I just rolled in from the Juvia's Place palette. So this is the color story that I'm going to be working with over the next month. If you have any ideas of looks that I could create with this, please let me know down in the comments. I even feel like maybe just Alchemy, just as a all shimmer look, just over the lid as just like a twinkly eye, maybe like a simple black wing, brown wing even, and I could call it quits with just that. That might look nice, just like a twinkly eye. I don't often do, actually I don't think I ever really do all shimmer looks, so maybe that could be a way that I challenge myself by just doing like a little nice twinkly sparkly eye and see how I go. If you've got any ideas, please let me know down in the comments. Wish me luck. Let me know how you're going with your panning. If you are focusing on eyeshadows, I would love to hear how you're going down in the comments. If you did enjoy it, give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed down below if you do want to keep up to date on this project and any of my other project pans that I'm working on this year. It's been so great having you join me for this video. I can't wait to see you in future content. I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, beautiful.